Patreon.com/fighting words. Love the boys, support the boys, and you know that is the case because at one point we allegedly may or may not do additional content. Xbrain.co.uk for your supplementation needs. Enter promo code Fighting Words to save 20% off your order. Market Squawk powered by livesquawk.co.uk for your come and go data needs. We love Market Squawk. We love them deeply. And if you fancy watching Fury Usyk 2, Usyk Fury 2 with the fam, 21st of December,
with the crew,
watch Party 5. The links may or may not be in the bio, but we will be hyping it this weekend and onwards, as well as the auxiliary outlets. I can't even remember what they're called, and I don't think they deserve me to even say the YouTube channels. Do you, Sam? Not me.
No.
Moving swiftly on. But yeah, we're going to be doing a live watch along for this weekend's okay card. I think it's going to be a fun card, personally.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that at the end of it. I think it's one of those ones where on paper it looks unremarkable. I think they're good fights. I think they're fun fights, and I think that some of the fights on there are pretty high stakes for the guys involved, and they're gonna mean it. Anyway, let's go. This is a rewind because we got crushed by Cornish internet.
Yeah, bit of deja vu here.
So we're gonna go over the boxer card on Saturday, which I'm still semi-seething about. Now, let's start with our boy, the giant Congolese legend, the big cuddly bear, TKV.
Big up TKV.
Shout out TKV. I have no idea for the life of me. Every single thing about that fight for him said he was on TV. By chance.
Yeah.
By chance, because I got so fed up with Bluey and some annoying YouTuber just shouting at things. Let us know in the comments what you think about YouTubers. That the girls were watching, that I was like, I'm opening up the iPad and I'm just going to check what's going on the YouTubes. Maybe I'll see Shannon Courtney or Fran or whoever. Jamie's walking out. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Am I watching TV? No, I'm not watching TV. I'm watching YouTube.
It's simulation.
Is it? What's going on? Is this an alternative timeline? I know that time isn't linear. I don't believe in linear time, blah, 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 blah. But no, Jamie was walking out on YouTube. So they dropped him down to YouTube.
Again.
They didn't give him an interview. They didn't. Again. They didn't give him anything. And it's kind of just like, why? Listen, he beat Franklin I can never say the geezer's name. Ignatius, right? I'm always drawn with Ignatius, the Latino singers. It's all whenever I see the geezer's name. Anyway, Franklin is a horrible night's work for anyone.
Yeah.
He's got a great jab. He's got decent movement. He's a big lump, and he will hold you, right? Jamie stopped him. It was messy. It wasn't a fun fight to watch, but he got the win. He got a TKO. We move on. Yeah?
Yeah.
As a spin-off to this, okay, when Jamie got his head split wide open by a Brazilian man who found a pair of boxing gloves down at Pure Gym in the studio.
And just started wearing them.
And just somehow managed to get them past the board. Those gloves were filth. I've seen the pictures of the gloves. Like they were naughty. I think
they're on our gram somewhere. If you scroll back long enough.
Exactly. They're liberties, right? Where was Ben banging on about that? Because he wasn't.
It happened on YouTube, so he probably wasn't even there yet.
Jamie's head got split wide open and he lost the fight, right?
Yeah.
One of his talents, yeah? Frazier, who is an absolute gentleman of a man, got his head broken by Fabs in flies.
Yeah.
Board recognised flies, and you cannot tell me that Frazier's team did not check those gloves. They went through all of the regs. They went through all of that stuff. Where was Ben when this happened to Jamie? Quite clearly and visibly, where on the other side of it, he's making all of this noise about the gloves that Fabs was wearing against Frazier, completely unfounded. Frank, I would not want Frank on the wrong side of me, you know. Other way
Neither.
around. I don't want to be on the wrong side of Frank. Like he's not mucking about. I'd love to know what he was saying to him.
Oh, I would pay for it. I would pay for it. It was one of the days we didn't mic him up.
Would have been amazing. Anyway, congratulations to TKV. Onwards and upwards. I look forward to having you in GH2 very soon. Ben,
He's going to make you look like a teddy bear on that sofa.
Of course he is, but that's fine. Lots of people do. You do, to be fair. Anyway.
Facts.
What do we move on to? Let's move on to Mikey McKinson and Mugumbi, right? McKinson looked quality in the first couple of rounds. Hurt him in the first round, and then this South African monster with the longest arm.
He was on
Mr. Tickle.
He's got to be performance of the night on that card as well. Like,
yeah, he won.
He was incredible.
He got performance of the night, right?
I don't know. Was it sponsored by Hell? Did he get Hell's performance of the night?
I don't even like. Probably.
I think Hell on the middle of the canvas is a bold choice.
It's a very bold choice. It's a very and as you know, as a soldier of Christ, when I was watching that, I was just giving it.
Yeah, you're just like holy water on the TV every fight.
Literally, I'm just like, I wonder what Josh Bawatsi is doing watching this. He's probably
Do you know what would have been?
Given the power of Christ compels you, bruv.
Yeah, well, imagine that McGiven knockout at the Belfast card we did, or like any of like the face down knockouts this year on that logo.
Don't want it. I don't want it. It's terrible branding. It's great for Hell though, right? Shout out Hell.
Shout out Hell.
Shout out the Dark Star. Shout out, you know what I mean. Let's move on. McKinson basically got outworked and outfought by someone who I don't know if he underestimated him because he's been out in camp with boots, right? I would imagine from a mental perspective, if you start holding your own with Mr. Ennis, like you're gonna think that there's no one that can do this. Like, and you're fighting for an open IBO belt. Like, there's no way this geezer's gonna be able to do anything. Like, I'm just gonna laugh him. I don't know. I don't know if they underestimated him. I don't know if he was just much better. He may be one of those dudes who's just so much better than what he looks like. Who knows? But shout out McKinson. Like, he come out afterwards. He was just like, yeah, worked my night. I like him a lot, you know. I think he seems
sound.
Yeah, sound.
Jinx.
Yeah, no, oh my God. Let us know in the comments what we need to do with the Jinx. Oh my God. Right,
McKinson will be back though, and yeah, sound lad.
He is a sound lad. So then, I mean, can you Google his name again? Because I can't remember what the Latvian Don's name is. Right, it's
Anthony Yard against Vilkans.
Vilkans, exactly. Right, Yard versus Vilkans. So Yard walked out and just went sick, punched him in the face, and went on the floor. And then Vilkans got up and he went, "All right, fair enough."
Boxing, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm in a fight. Oh yeah, sick. He was 17-0 at that point, and I'm gonna be honest, he looked 17-0 through that fight, like and won, but he got busted up and he ate a lot of shots, and honestly, Vilkans can come back, and I think that Vilkans is a pretty tough night's work. He may be the new gatekeeper. Right, he may be someone that Uncle Frank gets over, Eddie gets over. Like, he's going to get decent work as a very tough gatekeeper, is what he will be.
Or he'll be like Franklin was when he gave AJ a really tough night, and then we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, gatekeeper. Like, is that? Yeah, but no, he's fought a couple of times. I think he had a couple or whatever. But Vilkans, he was busier. He was landing uppercuts. He was landing decent shots to the body. He was landing in bursts. And you know what? Like, Ant got neutralized a lot. He had a really rough night. He won. Fine. All good. I think it was on that fight, right, where it was like the commentary team, Skylot, excellent. They're absolutely exquisite as commentary team. Literally, and then they went to the viewers card, and then the viewers card had it pretty much what we was all seeing. It was a lot closer, than what they wanted it to be and what the commentary team was saying, and they just changed tune. They literally just changed tune on the dime, and I don't know if they're getting it in the earpiece or they're like, look, you can't keep banging on about Ant because everyone can see what's going on here.
Maybe. I think that there's a bit of a, it's Yard's first fight on the new brand, and
I agree.
against a foreign Latvian that at the end of the day the Sky audience shouldn't care about. So I get why it's like so one sided, but at the same time I feel like, you, yeah, you do. If it goes the other way, you do have to say about it.
Yeah, I agreed. But Ant moves on. At what cost? Because they had Mr.
Yeah,
Boatsi there. And do you want to see that? I don't want to see it.
yeah. It's a hard one because you can say that Yard hasn't fought in ages, so he's got the ring rust.
Ain't that long ago. It was February, wasn't it?
But yeah, that's still majority of a year ago.
No, it ain't. 8 months ago.
Yeah,
Canelo,
8 months is the
Canelo,
majority of a year.
Yeah, it's 3/4 of a year. Canelo only fights
There you
every
go.
6 months. Right?
Yeah, but
It's not that wild, right? Is what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's not like he's been out the ring for 18 months. He's not
I
been out
think
the ring for
it's.
2 years.
I tell you what it is. Though. It's another one where it's a big name that's come in and made their debut on that on a
Yeah.
boxer's show and has stunk up the gaff.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good debut, right?
Like to be like Coley had it, Parker had it. I think Boatsi might have had it. I can't remember Boatsi's first fight on Boxer, but I don't think it. I think that might have been the card where everyone switched over to a Queensbury York Hall.
Yeah.
But it's like one of them where it's one of them where I'm not like it might just be because they've been out of the ring for ages, or it might just be. But like, there's quite a few big names that go over there and then they struggle on their first fight.
Yeah, they do, but who knows what that is? Who knows if that's the pressure of being on quote unquote the biggest platform? I don't think it is the biggest platform. I'm not even sure. I know it's bigger than TNT because who knows? Who knows? Who even cares? But from that perspective, Yard versus Boatsi makes no sense for anyone other than Yard. Yard, it makes perfect sense for.
Yeah,
Echelon, maybe it makes perfect sense for to try and get some money back from whatever is gonna be going on to pay the money for Ant to be over there.
yeah.
But I don't want to see it. I don't care. Like I think Josh has moved on. There is no reason for him to fight Yard unless it's for a giant amount of money, and then he'll do it. But like even he was just like, you got to do better than that. And
he's in a really good place with the rankings, Josh, where like you won't want to try and jeopardize it.
No,
but at the same time, it's just that division is so like the top's been settled, so it's like what does everyone do in the meantime?
For the Latino night in the Riyadh season,
Yeah.
I've got Dwayne Hotshot is coming to come and do the stream with us.
Okay.
So obviously he's Josh's manager. So we'll bring this up. So we'll have a chat with him about it. But like,
yeah,
listen, I think it makes way more commercial sense and way more fun, especially in the light of what happened at the tail end of that card, for Yard Azeez, Yard Whitaker, Yard Craig Richards, Yard,
Edmondson.
anyone, Edmondson, Edmondson, as a step back. Right, as a step back, and Yard destroys Edmondson. Right,
Okay.
Dan beat Edmondson, but we're not going to do that now. Let us know in the comments who you want to see Anthony Yard fight next. I'm going to keep doing this until I start getting comments, bruv. By hook.
I love this. I love that you're a YouTuber now. It's brilliant.
I'm such a YouTuber now. I mean, like, it's unbelievable how successful we are on YouTube. Like, and we don't even
Tens
try.
of views. Yeah,
That's the thing. We don't even try. That's it. If only we tried.
If only.
When I say we, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's time to accept accountability as the star of this poddy waddy. That you're too much of a diva and you're too much of a jet setter.
Well,
anyway.
You have messaged me saying you are the talent.
You are the talent. Constantly. I just say I can't do this without you.
No,
it's a team.
you flipped it. You flipped it.
No I in team.
Yeah.
Adam Azim versus O'Hara. Yeah. Adam looked great. He looked fast.
Yeah.
He looked sharp. He looked spiteful. He looked big. O'Hara did everything that he possibly could to old man him, to get him to lure it in. Listen, he busted up O'Hara. Respect to O'Hara, great career. Very, very candid before and afterwards. Like that a lot. I've always liked O'Hara. We
Yeah,
had him on.
yeah.
We had him on. I know he's got a bad rep, but like, I just think he just isn't kind of a no nonsense kind of guy. He may have a lick of the tism. I don't know. He's decent. Let us know in the comments what you think about O'Hara Davies. Brother. Anyway, Adam moves on now, and they need to make that Dalton Smith fight. They need to make that
ASAP.
Dalton Smith fight on a 5v5, on a Riyadh season card, on a DAZN main event, on a boxer main event. Eddie has been from day one, like, I will put Dalton on a boxer show. I don't care.
Yeah, Eddie wants that fight.
He's so bullish on it because he knows what that is. And that is because Dalton is so much rougher, physically stronger. Dalton is much more of a boxer fighter with the skills, with the power than Adam. I think what you see there, I think you see Dalton being rough. Like, remember what he did with Billy? Suplexed him, elbowed him.
That was a hard watch. That was a hard watch that night.
Bruv. Dalton is mean. He is mean. And Adam is spiteful and sharp. And that's a very different thing, right? When you're dealing with someone as sharp as you, like Dalton is, as skilled as you as Dalton is, I don't think he's quite as fast, but I think Dalton's heavier handed and he's he's just so much more horrible. It's
a great clash of styles, that fight.
Adam wants to win, right? And he wants to stop you and look good winning. Dalton wants to hurt you.
Yeah, he's spiteful with it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments how much Dalton wants to hurt Adam. Anyway.
It's just going to be you and commenting again and again. That's all it's going to be.
That's all that matters. He's our true fan.
Shout out
Producer
you.
of the year 2022. Definitely not 2024. Definitely not producer of the year 2024. Not. Definitely not. But he is there, and this weekend's live stream with Queen Shai and the Fraternal Order, right? I will be having the buttons on the table with us.
Giving him as little work as possible.
As small a remit as humanly possible, right? Power has been taken out of his hands. Everything has been taken out. He has to press 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, for the cameras, which obviously he may or may not do. Who knows? He's an artist. I understand his vision and so forth, right? And he has to type the comments, reply. But I've embedded the comments into the stream now, so we can see that. Yeah. I won't be able to see that because obviously I don't like wearing my glasses, and when I don't wear my glasses, I can't see. But and Jesse's
that's okay.
And Jesse can't see anything anyway.
Yeah, he uses echolocation.
He does use echolocation. It's a ginger thing, and I don't know what Queen Shai's eyes are like. Josh. It could go either way. I'm very excited about this stream because this is a 140 main event, and Josh talks so much smoke, as you kids call it. He wants to fight everyone at 140. Yeah. Literally everyone. He's like, I want to fight Dalton. I'm like, of course you do. Like, I want to fight Prodres. I want to fight this geezer. I'm like, just chill out, yeah? Get a license first, eh? You know? Love you, Joshy Bear. Anyway, he's got his documentary that is going to somewhere. I still say put it on YouTube. I don't care.
Yeah.
Put it on YouTube.
Release the cut.
Release the cut. That's all I'm saying. Or even start doing clips. It doesn't diminish anything.
Yeah, clips is a good shout.
I thought the whole point of this documentary was to give you exposure, not to whatever. Anyway, Dan Azeez versus Louis Edmondson.
Louis Edmondson.
Piss take, bruv. Piss take. Absolute piss take.
Yeah.
Right? Absolute and utter liberty. No one in that crowd, no one watching that fight saw Dan lose. Dan won. Not only did Louis have a point taken off, he did nothing. Tell me what he did to win that fight. He did nothing, the geezer. Right?
On smoke.
116, 112, Dan Azeez. And I will say this is not about Edmondson. Okay? He's won his British and he's won his Commonwealth. Congratulations, right? It's the biggest moment of your life. and it's all been brushed over and it's all been forgotten about now, right? Which is effed up, as the kids say. Let us know in the comments how effed up it is, right? And then Dan pressed the fight. He landed the jab. Look at their faces, right? Louis landed 2 right hands, 1 very good body shot, which clearly Dan felt.
Yeah.
Very good body shot. He like rushed through and bap, had that, right? And a couple of uppercuts. Other than that, he was giving it the long fencing, and he was switching from orthodox to southpaw, but doing nothing with it, right? He came out in that 12th round, and his corner was like, "You got to do something here," but he carried on like he had already won.
I don't think a punch was thrown in that last round.
I'm not saying that anything naughty is going on, but if something naughty was going on, that's the fight to watch for, right? Why is that fight after the main event? Dan was the betting favourite, then all of a sudden, he becomes the underdog. When did that happen? How did that happen? You got someone 9-0 going up against someone that's 22-1, right? Commonwealth, British, Southern, English, European, undefeated except for Josh Buatsi, who is now proven to be world ranked. This geezer from, where's he from? Your end, isn't it?
From Wales.
Wow, he's from Wales.
No, Southampton. No, you're right, Southampton.
It's the same.
From my ends.
It's the same. Southampton's near you, isn't it?
No.
Oh, right, my bad. Coast, isn't it?
I think it's nearer to you.
Is it
anyway.
Coast? Southampton's coast, bruv.
Yeah, it's coast.
Same. You live near the beach, he lives near the beach. All good.
Amen.
My sister lives in Brighton. Beach. She could be in Southampton. What is a Southampton? That's the question. Let us know in the comments. Right.
Jinx again.
Going back to Jinx. Going back to that, let's be very, very clear from my side. And then I know that you've got a southern regional chat about this, okay? I'm going to ask you these questions. What did Louis do to win the fight? Because I can tell you, Dan was pressing the fight. Dan was pushing the fight. Dan wasn't the one tying up. Dan was landing the jab. Dan was the one that was the effective aggressor the entire night. It was a horrible fight. It was a terrible style matchup.
Yeah.
Dan obviously was, because that Louis dude's very big and very long. For the weight, right? Pause. Now, I can't help myself. Let us know in the comments if you can help yourselves. Right. Anyway, Dan, in my opinion, he got robbed, and it wasn't like, you should always be siding with the aggressor in that sort of fight because he did nothing.
I think the thing for me is, I mean, the result I don't really have an opinion on, in the sense that I don't think it was as clear cut as you're making it seem, and I think the thing for me was like, I disagree that it was a robbery, because there were the first few rounds and the last round, so essentially maybe 4 rounds of the fight, maybe 5, were so hard to score because they were like arguably like nothing rounds, like not.
All right, but then on the counter to that, tell me what Louis did to win that, other than run around the perimeter of the ring.
Yeah,
because Dan was the one.
Yeah, no, 100%, he was the one. But I feel like,
so then you have to give it to them.
Like, if you look at Bivol, when they were kind of having the same arguments with like on the flip side, where they were saying Bivol was on the back foot, he was flicking that jab, he was like moving in that, and Arthur was aggressing. That was what people were arguing when they were saying Bivol was winning, when Eddie was saying it, when his manager was saying it. For me, I think those kind of like nothing rounds where Dan was the aggressor, but like Louis was flicking that jab and kind of picking up those points there. I think if they were more clear-cut rounds, if Dan had done that bit more, landed like bigger punches,
he did.
I think you would. Yeah, but I don't think it was to the level you're saying where it's a robbery. I think it was a close fight. I think it was a close fight that was hard to score.
Very because hard fight to score.
Yeah, it was a very hard fight to score because the styles didn't like match well, and because there were too many rounds where nothing really significant happened. Like I couldn't tell
if you had trouble scoring it.
I couldn't tell you anything of the first until I've got here in my notes till the 5th round. I can't tell you anything that happened before significantly.
Nothing significant happened in the early rounds, right?
Yeah.
But in those rounds, Dan probably landed 2 of those big Super Dan Azeez leaping jabs where he seems to defy
Superman
time
punches.
and logic and physics.
Yeah.
He landed 2 of those and was knocking his head back.
Right? Yeah.
Where Louis wasn't doing anything.
But I think all it took was when he did those, like, because he gets so much distance when he lands those jabs. Yeah, he goes from like right on the outside to like in Louis' face.
It's magic.
When he got there wasn't much going on. There wasn't a 2 or a 3.
Because he got held to the point where the ref warned him persistently and took a point off. And then he still, 114? Yeah. 114, draw. Okay. It was a miserable style.
I've got...
Draw, fine. What was the other one? It was 12-15 and 13-14, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think the 5th round. I think 5th round Louis had. I've got here. I need to watch it back again because we're re-recording this. But 6th, 7th, 8th with the point deduction as well. All Dan. Then it's like from the 9th onwards. It was kind of like Louis was just kind of flicking that jab and was kind of just racking up hits and that. And I really want to see the stats from it. I can't find punch stats anywhere for this fight.
Weird, no?
Really want to see punch stats for it because I could be completely wrong.
If you've seen the punch stats.
But the thing for me, when you had a similar style fight with Bivol Beterbiev, and when I was like, no, but in terms of the styles, you had someone on the back foot flicking a jab, fighting on the back foot, and you had Arthur trying to make something happen, going forward constantly. When you kind of had that, it was more clear cut for me because every time Arthur landed, there was 2-3 punches afterwards. With Dan, he did the Superman jab, and then I didn't see enough personally where he managed to get...
Right, so that is because if you grab a hold of Beterbiev, you are in the most danger that you are in that fight. Anyone that grabs a hold of Beterbiev, he has so much strength and so much torque and so much power that those little clubbing shots that people think... You know, like when they hold each other and they go...
Yeah.
Those... do significant damage from Artur, right?
Yeah.
So Bivol wasn't holding him very much, right? And when he was holding him, he was getting out double quick, where Louis was holding onto him and hanging onto him for dear life, and the ref was letting it go on.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I think for me, like I'm not saying Dan didn't win that fight. I'm not saying that...
But you can see both sides of the argument, right? And I understand.
For me, I don't agree it was a robbery. I think it was made close by the nothing rounds where they were hard to score. And I think when you leave it like that, where like there's 4 or 5 fights, near enough the majority of the fight where these rounds are hard to score, they're then up for debate, aren't they?
Okay, so let me ask you this, and then we'll wrap this up, right?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you wrap up, right? You've been in boxing for a while, not a few years, right? 3 years.
Yes, 3 years, 3.5. Yeah.
In that 3 years, you have firsthand probably seen more ringside fights than most people that have been lifelong fans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, doing the work that you do, doing with the exposure that you've had to BTS behind the scenes, right? Let us know if you like BTS. How many times have you seen in those fights that are stinkers?
Yeah.
Essentially, not only the home fighter, which was Dan.
Yeah.
The star, again, which was Dan, lose a close decision. Where
that is true.
The away fighter is doing nothing.
That is true. That is true. I get that.
Made sense.
But then I suppose from the other point of view, though, you would say like,
dude, he's not even a boxer.
That's relying more on boxing politics than it is what's in the ring. Which we've argued, we on this podcast, on this Zoom call, have argued for the other way round.
Yeah, no, 100%. But politics is politics, and politics happens constantly.
You are right.
The star fighter, right, which is Dan in that instance, right? Arguably, you know how much I love that man, right?
Yeah.
Dan to boxer, B tier, right? B tier. He's not in the AAA superstars. Yeah. He's not Adam Azim, but he is in the solid.
And he's had to scrape and claw to get there as well.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So you're on a boxer card. You're fighting for your belts that you just lost to Boatsi, who's now given up, and the board in
the post main event.
You can fight for it. Yeah, that was weird in itself. I don't want to talk about that. It's just very odd, right? And then the judges give this guy 9-0, half the fights, literally less than half the fights, who done nothing. Like he was so negative, bro. I want you to watch it again because
100%.
I tell you what we'll do, but we'll never get away with it. We should do it Infinite Archives.
Maybe I'll just put pictures on the YouTube video. Maybe, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you want to see that.
Let us know in the comments, Patreon.
But yeah, for me, I just want to sum up because I'm just scared that I'm going to open my curtains and Denzel Bentley's going to be there, and I'm going to be in trouble. Love Dan. One of the best fights I've seen live was Dan Azeez. I just disagree that it was a clear-cut robbery, especially when on this podcast we've argued that the word robbery gets thrown around too much. I hate the fact that... Oh, yeah, of course, exactly. I hate the fact that Dan's three fights now without a win. Hate the fact that he's just lost those belts.
All right, okay.
Hate the fact how it happened.
How about this? Okay, how about this in closing? Okay, in closing for you to show you that this is actually not a biased thing, because when our boys lose, they lose, right? When Den's lost to Heaney,
not often,
but when he lost to Heaney, you lost, bro. Like, I'll say it to you. I was horrible to see it. I don't want to see it. Fought the wrong fight. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Dan was very lucky to get a draw at the Crystal Palace. Okay? Very lucky to get a draw. Yeah? And I don't know if maybe that used up his 9 lives of luck. He was very lucky to get that draw. But this fight, he won it. Okay? He won it by 4 rounds. Clear. I can show you the 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Plus a point deducted. So I tell you what I would like to see. I would like to see the scorecards from the judges.
Yeah, I just want to see more. Yeah, definitely more clarification on this fight. I want to see the punch stats because
dude, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, mate. Everything has just moved on. It's gone.
It's in the shredder,
never to be seen again. We'll speak to Dens and we'll speak to Larry and we'll speak to Dan if he ever responds, but he never does anyway. Like, he will be fine and he'll get other opportunities because he has still got opportunities because he's still a good name. He's fun. He's a great talker. All of that stuff, right? Let us know in the comments. That's what you should name this episode. Patreon.com/fighting words. Love you. Bye.